Here we go now. A case of beer, some barbecue. There's no doubt that I'm better than you. With these looks and these moves, you can't blame me for being so rude. The land of the red, white, and blue will be my home till the day I die. I'm every lady's fantasy. I'm the American guy.
Check, testing.
The trailer park is where I'm from. You better believe I have about 27 guns. Baseball games, pickup trucks. I'm leagues above you other dumb schmucks. I'm from where the women are hot and the Twinkies are deep fried. And every day I pledge allegiance to God and country. I'm the American guy.
Happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Filsinger Games Fan Podcast. It's great to have you here. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you are having an incredible week, and we have a ton of news. This is the Filsinger Games Fan Podcast, episode number 81, the podcast that looks at Filsinger games from a fan's perspective. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Grant Pachoco, and before we get into all the fun, I do want to give a big shout out to all our amazing patrons who help make this show and the other shows from Saturday Morning Media possible. Huge shout out to every single patron, and a big shout out to all our patron producers, Dorothy Pachoco, Eve Cunning, Kathy Crawford, Tony Urbano, David Akers, and Vicky Sebring. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is great to have you all here. I'm super excited. And you know, last Friday, I was supposed to be coming back from Las Vegas, and earlier in the week, I got a call to head on out to Philadelphia to work on a TV show. So I had to postpone Vegas, but the working on the TV show had me going through the whole weekend. I didn't get back till Sunday, and, you know, I didn't feel like doing a podcast because I'd just been working, and I'd just been traveling, and traveling now in this day and age is something, boy, I gotta tell you. But that's not what this podcast is about. This podcast is about Filsinger Games, and since there was no podcast last week, we have a ton of news we need to get through. So what am I sitting around waiting for? Let's get to it. We're going to start with Champions of the Galaxy. Of course, the big set that's coming out is Kronos: Return to Civilization. And last week, PRECEPTOR was announced. It's not a medication. It is a guy. PRECEPTOR is Mentor's prize pupil. Now, we met Mentor and Mentress at the Perennial. So this PRECEPTOR works with him. He has an extremely lofty goals. He has been training his whole life to become the best pure wrestler on Kronos. Can he get there with valedictory? Here's what I was thinking. First of all, I know nothing about Kronos. I know nothing other than what Tom has laid out in past Champions of the Galaxy versions. I don't know anything about Kronos. But I was wondering if the name, I know it's alternate versions of people. I wonder if this is an alternate version of Jack of Diamonds. And the reason for that is PRECEPTOR. So King Lear's, our Exo King's son, he's PRECEPTOR. I don't know anything. That's me not knowing nothing, saying something, which should be the title of this show. And so we got PRECEPTOR was the first, was the name announced last week, and then this week we got Mayday. Mentor and PRECEPTOR are honorable wrestlers who want to prove themselves against the best competition Kronos has to offer. But Mayday is different than his allies. Mayday is the destructor, and according to Mentor, Mayday and according to Mentor, Mayday is the answer to the question, what will it take to end the war on Kronos? The solution to the problem is Mayday. Be there when Mayday walks into the middle of the war on Kronos and begins picking fights with everybody. Can Infinity and Infinity Plex survive Crack of Doom? I don't know. You guys are going to have to find out for yourself. So there you go. Those are the latest announcements. So the current roster for Kronos Return to Civilization is Mentor with Mentress, who is not a wrestler. It's just a valet. Preceptor and Mayday. Those are the three names we have so far out of this set. Moving on to the Best of Indies tag team for the Independent Wrestling card and dice game. We've got, again, two announcements. We've got the Philly Marino experience. Now, not knowing anything about Kronos, I know nothing about the tag teams we're going to talk today. Bringing the good vibes to you, Philly C and Marino T are the latest names to join the Best of Indies Tag Teams 2022. Mr. Smooth Operator Marino Tenaglia and Philly Collins are 6-year pros hailing from the Cleveland area, and they've made a home base out of AIW where they are 3-time and current tag team champs. Their rivalries with teams like Rip City Shooters to Infinity Beyond and Cornelius Crummels and Sonny Defarge are part of the reason they are one of the most exciting tag teams on the indies today. You know what? I would love to see these two guys against Midnight Heat. I think these two pair up very nicely with them from the Championship Wrestling from Hollywood Act 3 game edition, which there will be a link in the show notes if you would like to check those out. Oh, I see now that we have artwork. Okay, so I know what we'll do here. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. And then the next team that was announced was the main event. All-Pro Duke Davis and the All-Star Gannon Jones Jr. The main event are the latest additions to the Best of Indies Tag Teams 2022. Again, two guys I don't know. I really don't know anything about. But there you go. There you have it. Another great team. They also worked. They have wrestled with the Philly Marino experience. And yeah, so another great tag team for you Indies fans to have out as well in the man. Okay, I see what we're doing here. All right. Sorry, I'm just trying to some breaking news just happened, so I'm trying to get that breaking news in a position where I can share that with you as well. So there you go. These two teams, the Philly Marino experience and the main event, join Ross and Marshall Von Erich in the Best of Indies Tag Teams 2022 set. Moving on to Legends of Wrestling, we had Don Leo Jonathan announced. And a second-generation star, Jonathan made his debut in 1949. A globe-spanning career saw him collect titles wherever he went, including multiple versions of the World Heavyweight Championship. He arguably found success in the Great White North, where his runs are nothing short of legendary. Don Leo engaged in feuds with fellow low Legends of Wrestling talents Jack Briscoe, Dutch Savage, and a young Andre the Giant. In an interesting twist, Jonathan's final match saw him team with Andre and Roddy Piper to take on the Sheepherders and Buddy Rose in his chosen home of Portland. So there you go with that. And then just announced moments ago, Antonino Rocca was announced. And when the announcement went up, there was no image, but I am going to switch over, if you're watching it now live, to the image that was posted just seconds ago on the Filsinger Games website of Antonino Rocca. I will update the art so we can see that as well. So there you go. There are the two names that are announced in this past week for Legends Expansion 9. We've got Les Thatcher. We've got Don Leo Jonathan. We've got Antonino Rocca. Now, if you are a fan of Antonino Rocca, you need to be subscribed to my YouTube channel, because every Thursday morning you're getting a little treat from Antonino Rocca himself, and I hope that you are enjoying it. So Legends Expansion 9, the roster is Les Thatcher, Don Leo Jonathan, and Antonino Rocca. Rocca, and Legends Expansion 9 and the Best of Indies tag teams and the Kronos set all go up for sale February 25th, which is next Friday. Now, I will say that the post for Antonino Rocca, when it first went up, said pre-order start February 15th. I think that was a typo. I think it's supposed to be the 25th. So that's next Friday. So we will be here live with the pre-order announcements, as we always are, covering all the latest stuff. Of course, for all the information, you want to head over to filsingergames.com. That is where you want to go. Well, it's time for the match of the show, ladies and gentlemen. I asked you who should face HelSin for the podcast grand championship, and you had a lot of great suggestions. We had Vampiro, we have Casey Spinelli, we had Serpent Unman, and we had Draconian Sheik. Now, I took all those names. What I was going to say is there was two names out of that. There were two names out of that got multiple votes. I don't know if yes, and those names were Vampiro and Casey Spinelli. Casey Spinelli, a women's wrestler, but did very well at the perennial, so that's why Casey Spinelli's name was thrown in there. I put those two names in a hopper, I mixed them all up, and ladies and gentlemen, facing HelSin for the title will be none other than Vampiro. So let's roll the dice. Let's ring the bell. And there you go. It's going to be HelSin starting things off, rolling a big 12, and he starts things off with a leg sweep. Dazed 1 for Vampiro. There is a cartwheel kick, but it is choice E. So let's see. Scorpion Deathlock will work on a 7 or less, and a Power Slam would work on an 8 or less. He's going to go for the Scorpion Deathlock. Try and get a 7 or less. So let's see what happens. The roll is a 9, so Vampiro will take over on level 2. Jumping back kick 2, hurt 2. Vampiro with into the ropes. HelSin goes flying into the ropes, and he come off the ropes with a powerful flying shoulder tackle. HelSin reversing it, rolling on level 2. Stiff arm crowbar to Vampiro, hurting him, and rolls a choice A. So he is going to throw Vampiro into the ropes. Vampiro with a B as a ropes rating, and Vampiro comes off with a flying shoulder tackle and then follows it up with a big super kick. And HelSin is down. Can Vampiro capitalize out of the ring? Not what you're going to want to do. You're not going to want to throw HelSin out of the ring because HelSin just smashed Vampiro into the turnbuckle post, throws him back in the ring, and we'll be rolling on level 3 offense. And there it is. He hits burial. The target here will be 3. The roll is a 10, so Vampiro with 1 fatigue as HelSin hits a Hurricane Rana on Vampiro, only a hurt 2. HelSin with a headbutt to Vampiro, and Vampiro reversing it on level 1, and following it up with a headbutt himself, but only a level 1 headbutt, dazing HelSin. And there is a fireman's carry that will work. It's a power move, but does the work. And HelSin rolls down, so Vampiro rolling on level 3 offense, and again tosses HelSin out of the ring. A wild brawler ups the wrestler with the better ring rating. They are equal, so Vampiro will roll on level 3 offense and hit a top rope spin kick on HelSin, hurting HelSin. And there is a power slam as a choice B. So either into the turnbuckle or he will have to roll a 5 or better, 5 or less to get the agility move. He is going to choose turnbuckle, even though HelSin has an A rating. The opponent gets you into a running clothesline, but you move and he crashes in the turnbuckle. Vampiro rolling his pin here. The target is 3. The roll is a 7. Vampiro now at 2 fatigue, and HelSin rolling a death jump, climbing up to the top. Big clothesline from the top. HelSin rolling again on level 3 offense, and he is going to throw Vampiro out of the ring. These two are really brawling it up. The wrestler with the better ring rating wins the brawl. They are equal, so that's going to be HelSin. HelSin rolls the Exorcism 3, add 1. Vampiro now at 3 fatigue, and he is down. Can HelSin follow up here? Stake to the heart, add 1. Yipes. Now at 4 fatigue is Vampiro, and he is rolling his pin. The target here is 6. The roll is 11. Big kick out by Vampiro, but now at 5 fatigue as HelSin rolls on level 3, and another stake to the heart and another fatigue token. 6 fatigue for Vampiro. Vampiro hurts too there. He's not giving up yet. There's a headbutt to Vampiro, and that is a hurt too. HelSin rolls a mallet thrust 3 on Vampiro, and he is down. HelSin looking to HelSin throws Vampiro out of the ring, and Vampiro crawls helplessly back in as HelSin rolls on level 3 offense. There's another exorcism and another add 1. Vampiro is at 7 fatigue. Holy cow. Hurt 2. HelSin with the crucifix drop on Vampiro. Vampiro a hurt 2. Vampiro, I don't know how he's even standing up. Here is a choice A, and Vampiro is going to, HelSin is going to throw Vampiro into the ropes and puts him down with a running back elbow. HelSin rolls on level 2 offense. There's the stiff arm crowbar. We've seen that before, and here is the pin. Is this it? The target 9. The roll is a 7, and there you go. HelSin defends it again with a stiff arm crowbar. Holy cow. Who should HelSin face next week? Let me know in the comments. I would love to know who you think. Who's it going to be that's going to dethrone HelSin? He's slowly creeping up the charts here. As the longest reigning champion. He's not yet, but he's getting close. So there you go. Let me know in the comments who you think that HelSin should defend against next. All right, I asked you last week, what is the hottest feud in your Fed right now? Answer in the comments below. So got some great answers here. Angel said, my hottest feud in my 2087 Fed featuring Omega and Star Warrior and aided by Massive versus Kraken, Khan, and Mutant. They are about to have a big 6-man elimination match and a no-holds-bar elimination cage match for all the stakes. I love that. I love the classic COTG guys battling out in a simple 6-man elimination match, then a cage match. All fantastic, really great. Scotty Boy 9999 says my hottest feud is one from way back. I'm still in the CPC GWF Fed War years. It's 2106 and Paragon has just come in mowing down opposition. It's all leading to Paragon against Chaos. So this is my big one. They haven't even wrestled yet, but there is so much clashing and trash talking in the build-up. It's my most anticipated match in a long time. What's more is they are both heavyweight champions of their respective brands. When they finally meet, it will be Chaos's GWF belt on the line. Cannot wait. You got to tell us what happens in that match, because that sounds incredible. CrewFan68 says, this one's easy for me, although it is a feud that just wrapped up. Randy Savage versus Rowdy Piper. Rowdy Piper, classic. I run a territory-based Fed, and this rivalry lit up my Northeast-based Capital Wrestling Alliance. The feud lasted around 1 game year and grew to include Angelo and Lanny Poffo on Savage's side and Cowboy Bob Orton and Bob Orton Sr. on Piper's side. It all accumulated in a big steel cage match with Savage coming out on top. Just so much fun. Sounds like it. Pariah says, although I have tendency to book fairly short programs, my hottest feud at the moment would have to be Bruiser Brody versus Nick Bockwinkel. Classic match there. Both men are past champions, and the animosity between them is so intense that each has vowed to ensure that the other never holds the title again. Absolutely love it. Peppermint Rage says the feud is a fun one for me and some friends. For me and some friends have done a thing where we put all our cards together to do a big draft and then run shows with who we draft. This means legends, indies, champions of the galaxy were all mixed willy-nilly, and that resulted in a feud between Coven Black and his tag partner Dasher Hatfield. Together they were Vampire Baseball feud with Thunderbolt Patterson, who at one point had a surprise partner, El Generico, for a match I was going to bring up. So there you go. So it's Vampire Baseball versus Thunderbolt Patterson and El Generico. Classic feud. That's the great beauty of this game, is you can mix and match as you see fit. Joe M says, hottest feud I have going right now is a rare heel versus heel feud. Recently on Piper's Pit, Piper called out Ted DiBiase for claiming Virgil is the best bodyguard in the business. I can see where this is going. Piper took a section to say that Cowboy Bob Orton is the best bodyguard. Piper and DiBiase bet each each other who would win the match. With DiBiase's help, Virgil picked up the victory. This was followed by Piper recently defeating Virgil easily. Hopefully the feud remains hot to the big pay-per-view blow-off in 2 months. Still undecided on Piper versus DiBiase or Piper Orton versus DiBiase and Virgil. I think you got to do the tag match first, and then the big blow-off match is Piper versus DiBiase. Michael Bratta said the timing on this is ironic. My biggest feud right now is Candy Divine versus Sherry Martel for the Women's World title. After 3 matches, the title is currently being held up when Sherry illegally used the ropes for the win in their last match. However, AWA President Stanley Blackburn decided declared the title vacant. He is expected to make an announcement on AWA TV this weekend. Rest in peace, Candy, for the 3rd week in a row. My vote for match. Oh, that's he was voting for Vampiro. So I hope you enjoyed that match tonight, Michael. Michael says, update, it was a ladder match and Candy Divine won. Well, that is absolutely perfect and fitting. And of course, rest in peace, Candy Divine. Doug Fletcher, my hottest feud right now is my version of Jimmy Hart's first family of Ox Baker, King Kong Bundy, Nikolai Volkov, and Boris Zukov against Jim Duggan, Steve Corino, Too Cold Scorpio, and Marcus Bagwell. And now I have the Ringside Companion. I hope to heat it up even more. Perfect, Doug. I absolutely love that. And Colonel Pete Beck, who, if you didn't hear Pete Beck's recent interview on Roll Up, it's fantastic. Best feud in my Fed right now is the 3, Black Death versus Endgame, Overmaster, and Monolith. That is a hard-hitting feud right there. Just had lots of fun in some incredible matches. So there you go. Thanks to everybody who answered last week's question of the show. This week's question of the show, going off the recent mention of the Ringside Companion, what is the first match you've run using the new Ringside Companion? Answer in the comments below. I would love to know what your first match was. Hey, we got something for Bootleg Corner this week. Will Harrison's Bootlegs for a Cause, the tag team of WARBEAST, is available. I will have a link to the thread in the show notes for this podcast, so you can find out how you can get a copy of these cards for this Indies tag team WARBEAST, which fits in perfectly with the Indies tag team set that's coming out. This is a fundraiser, and he did say that he only had about 25 copies left. So if you want this, make sure you get over and get in touch with Will ASAP, so you can get these. I recently got my copies. You'll see that in an unboxing video that I'll drop on the channel on Monday. And so go pick up your copies right now. Speaking of elsewhere on the channel, we've had a lot of fun. I've been playing my Memphis Fed like crazy. Since the last episode, we've had card 13, 14, and 15 of my Memphis Fed, and the next card will crown our first Southern Heavyweight Champion, so you want to check that out. Also, I had a great bootleg and gift unboxing video. I had KB and Strikers Rat Pack cards and some very cool gifts from Michael Bratta as well. So if you've not watched that video, you can check all these videos out over at youtube.com/GWF Promoter. Well, as we start to wrap up here, ladies and gentlemen, we do want to give a shout out to all the other great Filsinger Games related podcasts. Of course, you've got the Uncharted Territory. I listened to their episode on the Ringside Companion this morning, binged it immediately as soon as it hit Overcast, and loved every minute of it. After further review with Steve Tower, check out his YouTube channel. Heartland Championship Wrestling with Dave Little, still putting out great cards. The Filsinger Games, of course, official podcast, Roll Up. Lee Longpree with the Dizzy Dice podcast, and Twitch TV is your home to watch Brockster Builds, who's got a lot of great content. I also got some great bootleg cards from Brockster Builds, which I will open in a video that you will see on Monday. Hey, come join us on the Filsinger Games Fan Discord. We recently had some great discussions about the Champions of the Galaxy GWF Hall of Fame and when to bring it in and how many people to induct into the Hall of Fame. Just a great discussion. You can get there by going to bit.ly, that's bit.ly/FGF Discord. Of course, a link to that will be in the show notes. Did you know that there's an audio version of this podcast available wherever you get your podcasts? Just search for Filsinger Games in your favorite audio store, and it should pop right up. If you have a topic you'd like the show to cover, leave it in the comments. Make sure to subscribe or follow, whether you're watching on YouTube or Twitch, and follow GWF Promoter on social media at GWF Promoter. You can check out my personal feds at GWFpromoter.com and LOWpromoter.com. The theme song is American Guy by Throwing Toasters, used by permission and available on Apple Music, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your music. This podcast is not affiliated in any way with Filsinger Games or its subsidiaries. It's purely for entertainment purposes. This episode is copyright 2022 Saturday Morning Media. Thank you to everybody who was watching this being recorded live. Christopher Merriman, Miho Burns, referee James Lawrence III, and Michael Bratta. Appreciate all of you watching. Appreciate all of you downloading. Appreciate all of you listening. I hope you have an incredible weekend, and I will talk to you next week for Pre-Order Friday. Take it easy, my friends. Talk to you soon. Bye.
And if you do, you're gonna die trying, my friend.